Yeah, Michael has got some like Cortana thing going over in the background.
Is Cortana teaching him how to use his computer?
I don't know. Let's see. All right, video's off, so now we're fine. And we can't hear Michael, so that's good, I guess. So, welcome everyone to the Foolish Tech Show. Not sure what's going on with Michael. I swear every Monday it seems like he has to relearn how to use his computer. It's like, how do you forget that? All right, well, welcome to the Foolish Tech Show, everyone. We're here to answer any questions or give support on our stuff or something like that. Otherwise, we'll just talk about random stuff and things that interest us. Looks like we got a couple people already in the chat. DG Murdoch Kill, Kai, James Team, CC, RTM Tech 2, Shuk, and Glenn. And I'll try not to ban everybody like I did on Friday. But how's everybody's weekend? How are things going?
Very pleasant.
Doing well, sir.
Excellent. Anyone have any interesting shenanigans having had going on?
Maybe. Can't remember them. But did some more coding. Just excited about the coding. I actually broke it down. I spent all day yesterday on one single function. I'm still working on it. I'm halfway done with it. On one actually relatively small function that I'm documenting the hell out of. And it just feels good to do. Like, it's important, though. It's very, very extremely important. So it feels good to do that. I'm stoked. Oh, and I did a new Kill 'Em All release, but then I pulled it to 5003. I added some there were some code changes. You have a 5002.
Yep.
And everyone else has a 1. There were some code changes in 2 that didn't cause any issues, but I let it ride for him for testing for now. And there's a code change in 3. And then I just added, the only thing I added was the ability to copy and save information from the file detail window. So you can right click and then copy and save individual fields or a whole tab of information for a file, or every tab with all information that you've gathered. So I think I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna restrict like the last couple of those features to the premium versions. But we already have. I do have the product key check in place. I think for a couple of things. I know it's in place for duninstaller. If you actually have a duninstaller INI file, you can just drag and drop that right on Kill 'Em All, and it will register it. Though I don't think that there's really any premium features it will activate currently, other than window position saving.
That's a nice feature, though.
But once I finish this new function here, I'm hoping that will solve my update issue with it, and then I will put out the updating. I just hate to keep putting out an update when the updater is broken,
Yeah.
Anywho, that's what I've been up to, and what I'll be up to today. What's happening, Proctor? Good morning.
Good morning. I'm having some computer issues. I don't think my computer could pass the solitaire test right now.
Not more than Michael, though.
Yeah.
What's up with Michael?
No one knows.
Is he formatting?
He doesn't
communicate.
which is a good thing on a Monday morning for us. Hey, Zombie Worm joined us too. Morning, afternoon.
Yay!
No, it's noon there, I guess. Good lunch day. So, I like how your shadows are going on, Proctor.
Oh, my shirt, yeah, like real sweaty. Went to the gym for 3 hours this week.
Yeah, Michael is probably manually removing registry keys. He's breaking his headset right now, it looks like. Up, now we can hear him. I just heard him with his microphone.
On the reset button.
I found it.
You found how to turn it on?
I found how to reset it or something. I don't know. It's working though.
It's the one button on the side of the thing.
Oh, I see why that would have been hard to find.
It's right there in the middle of the earpiece.
Yeah.
Actually, it's bad. Actually, it's kind of small.
It's yeah. You can't really tell it's there.
It's tiny little. You can't even see it. Actually.
Works great now though.
Tiny.
So what video was I playing?
I don't know. It was something about .NET though.
.NET.
It was some Indian guy just like.
Were you playing a video? Can you answer that? Were you playing a video?
I don't
or
know.
Or listening to a podcast or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know. And my 50 to 60 tabs open, it's hard to tell at a glance.
Did you not hear anything?
No, I didn't hear anything until just 2 seconds ago when I just turned.
Do you not remember starting any videos?
Might have been weeks ago. It might have been weeks ago when I started it. I don't know.
Chrome has a little audio thing.
Yeah, you'd think that would work well, but let's see.
It does. It does work well.
He said he has 60 tabs open, so it wouldn't work if he had 60 tabs open.
That is true. I tend to have like a billion. Like when I say session, it's 300 tabs or something.
You have 60 tabs open in one Chrome window?
No, across 7 or 8 Chrome windows.
Okay, so you would have been able to see it. And it replaces the first, it like goes in front of the tab. So
yeah, I know, and I was looking for that, and I didn't see that on any of the tabs. But let me see, I'm restarting the tabs now.
Welcome to this Windows
Building
channel,
a
and this is a
16-segment
tips and
coaxial
tricks
collinear
video
array and picking up
for
beacons from
Windows.
aircraft
And this
170
video
miles
that
away.
one.
Yeah.
All that and
It's
more.
amazing
this
when you
time
don't even
on
know
Hack
what's
5.
going on in your own environment. Not just your computer, but your environment.
This episode of
Physical
Hack 5 is brought to you by
environment.
Domain.com.
Hello, welcome to Hack 5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
I'm Shannon
It's
Morse.
your weekly dose of technology.
that wasn't Hack 5.
Okay, there we
That
go.
was some Indian dude talking about .NET and Cortana and Yahoo Mail. I don't know what you're watching or why, but it definitely was not helpful.
Would there be any value in, and do you think any stress test value in loading up a, speaking of a, remember how we used to, Proctor will remember way back in the day, opening up the Windows fonts folder a bunch of times or something like that, a little batch to do that a bunch of times, because like, or something like, it was something like rendering the fonts, you know, it was high processor. And, okay, maybe you don't.
I don't.
Yeah, but okay, that was a Keith trick, I think. He was the solitaire guy too, so take it for what you will. But it worked. It did work. This was like Win9X though, but it most definitely worked. I had just wondered if the Chrome tabs, like you were just talking about, would be, and you know what a resource hog Chrome is, if there would be a value to opening Chrome tabs, a certain number of them, maybe pointing them to a web page that uses a specific technology that's high processor. Glenn just gave me the idea when he said 235 tabs is my limit, need more RAM, I think. Just wondering if there would be any value to benchmark or specking or anything like that. When, like, you know, the bragging rights of I can run more Chrome than you can, because that's a difficult thing to say, really. With I don't know.
Who's got the most Chrome?
But the thing is that it's more of the and when you do tests with the OS, especially, it's more of a real world test because APIs are getting called and used and everything. It's not just like burning in the processor with like Prime 95 or whatever, toast, like toast. But random thoughts.
Oh, that's why people are watching it, because it has the enable DVR left on. Now it doesn't.
What had enable DVR turned on?
The YouTube stream. I was wondering why I could go backwards in time.
The live stream, yeah.
Oh wait, where's my? Do I have the chat? Look, no, the chat's not up. No, somebody should just. There we go.
Your chat is up. Oh, it's not on the stream, no.
Yeah, it's not. Let me see. I don't want it on the window. Yeah, maybe I can do that. Something like that. No, I can't. I can't minimize the window. Why?
Michael, how do you have two of the same screen that act the same?
Yeah, well, I've never figured that out in HexChat. Yeah, both screens duplicate their behavior, although it doesn't take my typing. So I can type into one, but like anybody who scrolls or does stuff will.
Why? Like when you started HexChat and then you just started again, they just link together? Is that how you're doing it, or?
No, I just minimized. I can't. Okay, so my problem right now is that I can't minimize the HexChat window or it goes away.
I see that, but no, when you started HexChat,
yeah,
you started it and then you started it again, and they're just linked together.
From my behavior, yeah, like this is my second window right here that you're seeing.
When you double click on HexChat, it starts up the same window again.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to install it. Maybe that was the difference between mine. Okay. But yeah, you got the HexChat window on top of us now.
Yeah, I know. And so I'll quit this one, and now you can see the video. But all right, I got it to work.
There, now you got a second one, because that's the second name.
I'm looking at the stream right now. I see the HexChat window, I see the logo in the corner, and I see 6 video links. Is that not what you're saying?
No, Michael, never mind. We'll talk about it later when we're not on the air. Anyway, I do have something interesting I saw this weekend. They're remaking Cabin Fever. This is one of my favorite.
Oh, I like that movie.
Horror spoof movies, and they're redoing it 2016. Eli Roth is producing it.
Roth. Wow.
It looks pretty awesome. Maybe we'll live up to the original, but I don't know how you can beat that original one.
I think they could. I think they could do okay. There was some not exactly great parts of the first one. It was well done, though, I will say.
Did you ever see any of the sequels?
I did see the sequel. I watched all of them.
They had 2 sequels.
Yeah.
Cabin Fever 0. Did you watch that one?
I saw that was the most recent one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where they went to the lab where they created the virus.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, that wasn't even bad, despite it being a third installment of a relatively lower budget movie.
So I'm really excited to see that one come out.
Did you post a link for that, or?
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Oh, I gotta scroll down the window. My bad.
Then, yeah, your other window is not scrolled down all the way.
I got it now. I think you should see it soon.
All right. Another article I saw was this one where a 16-year-old kid had an e-cigarette blow up in his face, and he suffered second-degree burns. And what I really was interested in this article about was that nowhere in the article did they state this 16-year-old kid shouldn't have been smoking e-cigarettes in the first place. Because in Canada, it's actually an age limit of 19, and only a couple of the provinces is at 18. So this kid shouldn't even had a cigarette. And like they had the mother up there saying, "Oh, it was so terrible. How could they do this to my son?" And it's like, you should have been freaking parenting.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the excuse that everyone makes. It's the manufacturer's fault. But when the manufacturer says it's razor blades and it's razor blades and your child kills themselves, well, it's not their fault. It's because you let them get into razor blades.
Yeah. There was another interesting one in there that a guy in Colorado Springs suffered a broken neck when an e-cigarette exploded in his face. I'm not exactly sure how that happens, but
yeah, okay. So I was smoking an e-cigarette as I was plummeting off the Grand Canyon, and just so happened that I broke my neck.
So yeah, interesting there.
I don't know. I've never. While this seems like it would do a lot of damage if it exploded, and it probably could. I mean, there's lithium-ion batteries here, and it could, I could see something happening, but I'm not afraid of it, honestly. It's not a ticking time bomb. I've banged it around. I've dropped it. What are these people doing that are causing their devices to explode? Are they not filling them with e-liquid? Are they filling them with gasoline? Or
the only thing I can
battery or circuitry thing.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like they're leaving it in their car on the dash, and after it's sitting in the hot sun, then they're like vaping it on 180 watts or whatever, and it's just overloading the batteries, which is a risk. That is a very large risk if you're. That's just
but if you leave your laptop battery to bake in 100-degree weather, 150, 200-degree weather inside of a car for a long enough period of time, the same thing would happen. And I've left this in the car personally. I don't vape it after it's like, if it feels hot to the touch, that I can't pick it up. I'm not going to be vaping on it. But I mean, again, I think these people are going out of their way to get hurt by these things a little bit.
I always put mine in the center console or somewhere where it's going to keep.
Yeah, I put it
when it's
inside.
hot, like I'll get in the truck again when it's hot. If it was cool that morning, that's great, and I'll get in the truck like in like an afternoon when it's hot, and I'll pull it out of the thing. It'll still be cold. And I'm like, yeah.
So anybody blow up a gas station by vaping while filling their car?
Not yet, I don't think.
No.
I don't actually do that a lot, but I do it sometimes.
I was just curious if I'm certainly not going to be smoking.
Who's vaping enriched uranium?
I'm not going to smoke a cigarette while I'm pumping gas, but I did find myself the other day.
I'll smoke
putting
a
it up to my
cigarette while
mouth.
pumping gas. That's so
I've done
stupid.
that before too. I've done that before too.
Like, no, it's like almost impossible to light yourself on fire when you're smoking a cigarette around gas. Like, I have put a cigarette out in gasoline.
You can do that.
Work
Yeah,
that way.
You can do
It
that.
takes a spark.
Yeah, like you have to spark it. It's not like those movies of them dropping a cigarette and lighting gasoline. Doesn't work.
Yeah, it will. You can get the sparks though from the cigarette sometimes, and it's not always a.
It's just not as easy as they make it out to be. I think is
Yeah.
what it boils down to. And
Now, don't be lighting your cigarette while you're
Speaking
pumping
of
gas.
the last episode of Ash versus Evil Dead. Speaking of the last episode, when she was lighting that house on fire, it was raining and super windy. There's no way that
Oh man, I haven't
flare
seen
that she
about
threw.
that too much.
Oh, well. I mean, I just found that to be a little bit unbelievable how that lit up readily.
Flare lights in rain.
No, a flare does, but so there was some time lag before her dumping the gasoline on the house, and like I said, it's raining. At least I mean, it wasn't crazy raining, but it was raining, and in the episode, and it just didn't seem to me like that house would have went up like it. And I guess I could argue that the amount of
A
blood
lot
coming
of
out of
things.
the
that
amount of blood
happen-
coming out of stuff
Yeah,
is
a
more
lot
than
of
their
things that
body
happen in
weight.
Ash versus it didn't really seem like it could happen.
I suppose I want a talking
Oh,
face
like,
on a bug.
I don't know the whole premise of the show, for example.
Yeah, like a
I mean,
chainsaw arm.
Oh,
But you need
that's
these
just
things
awesome.
to
That could
carry the
definitely
story.
happen.
You need these things to carry the story,
Yeah,
and the story can be fantastic because it is a story and everyone knows it. Prime example in the Z Nation I was watching last night. They were carrying around a talking head in a box. Okay, and it's like,
yeah.
Nice.
and I'm like, he ain't got no vocal cords. What? I know he's a
He was
zombie, but
talking,
damn,
yeah.
how is he making the noise?
Yeah, that's funny. Man, that is something I would want to do. Like, if there were zombies, like having a head that just like rah, 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 rah.
Well, this one was taught. It was
Yeah,
essentially.
no, I remember.
Wouldn't you love to put it on a stick and just walk
Scientist.
around with it and be like, listen to my talking head?
Dude, the coolest thing was the radioactive zombies.
Those were cool.
They set off all the nukes and radioactive zombies, man. That stuff's awesome.
Okay, I've got to watch that show.
No, the ones those were the blasters, but the other ones from the I guess they're about the same, but but right before from the leaking nuclear power plant,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
nuclear reactor, and the zombies were all in that shit.
yeah. And like they were all like melted and stuff.
Yeah,
That was cool. But no, the blaster ones were the one I was talking about.
yeah, those were insane. Those were like your Resident Evil, like quick, mad zombies. You know?
Planes run our RTM Tech 2 says planes run a ground wire before refueling. Yeah.
How do they do that in the air?
I usually, while I'm having the cigarette burning into my mouth, I ground myself too. So I should be safe. RTM Tech, thank you.
It is actually a lot easier to blow yourself up pumping gasoline while you're holding a cell phone than it is a cigarette. Like, I've actually seen more news articles about people starting fires because they're using their phone.
I have
Tesla
too,
coil,
static electricity.
Right.
And come to think, that's the one thing I always, even this, I sometimes will carry with me, and I'm like, oh man, but I will, I'll be taking a puff before I realize it sometimes. But that darn cell phone, man, I leave that in the truck and the car seat every time. And if I want to use it while I'm pumping, I fucking walk over to the front,
Yeah, get back in the
side
car.
door. Yeah. And chill over there. I always get back in the car, but I'll walk over to the door and just be like, oh, inside, like.
Yeah, static electricity is the worst thing. Which, speaking of, I watched a lot of SDR talks this week, and I'll post all the links that I got for that, and found out some interesting tidbits.
Video.
Static electricity will cause things to go wrong with your antennas and such.
Oh,
So,
really? Who'd have thunk it?
like, it can actually, a lot of those cheap RTL things don't have static blockers on them, and those will go back into your device and then into your computer. So be careful about that.
What you eating there, Proctor?
Sausage biscuit from Biscuitville.
Got a shout out to Biscuitville this morning.
Yeah.
Nice.
That place was so
Basketville.
for John to tell us. Like, I didn't believe it existed. John was like, "Let's go to Biscuitville." I was like, "What?
Yeah.
No way."
Sounds like a made-up name.
Like, are you talking about Bojangles? He's like, "No, Biscuitville, man. We're going to Biscuitville." I was like, "Come on."
And so, describe how are they different than another
They're
place?
not as spicy as Bojangles, but they're basically a Bojangles. They don't.
The biscuit's a lot different. The biscuit's a lot different between Biscuitville and Bojangles.
Yeah.
Bojangles is a little greasier.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, it comes out the crust is a little harder. Biscuitville is honestly they're kind of dry. The biscuits are, but they're I guess softer.
I hate biscuits.
I don't like biscuits.
Yeah,
I
throw me an English muffin.
I usually
throw me a
order
bagel.
one.
A bagel,
Actually,
an
there are a
English
couple places where I'll eat biscuits. I love the ghetto biscuits.
Yeah.
What kind of biscuits?
Ghetto biscuits.
Ghetto.
There's
Cheese-
a
Ghetto
Cheese
cheese biscuits. Yeah.
yeah, there's a store behind our tech shop that was a gas station.
Oh yeah.
I remember hearing the stories.
They basically took a wad of cheddar like this, like a big fistful, and they crammed it in this little thin little layer of biscuity
Then
dough.
they cook the
And then they soaked it for 24 hours in butter.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's scary.
That's what it feels like when you eat it. It hurts your chest going down, like your heart immediately goes, oh, what?
I can't breathe.
It's bad. It's so greasy. And you get it, and it's one of those things where the grease just destroys the bag, and it's
It eats through most of the bags that I
You
put it in.
can feel the days come off your life as you eat
and
it.
it's literally just like a kind of thin-ish biscuit that's been cooked till it's a little crusty on the bottom.
Usually the cheese
Something
is
to hold
crusty.
the butter
crusty,
cheese.
and a lot of that is the cheese, and what's not is the butter crusting all the crust, the bread up. So, and it's, oh my god, it's so tasty. It's just this massive wad of cheese.
Well, they gotta soak it in butter to counteract the effects of all the cheese.
Oh,
Mr.
I remember when you found that place, man. You were like, "Oh wow, this is great."
Yeah,
And,
I remember you
and,
talking about it too.
everybody wants that cheddar bow from Bojangles, and I'm like, that thing tastes like a regular biscuit to me. It tastes like a Biscuitville biscuit. Like, is there cheddar in there? I don't know.
So anyone using Edge's private in private mode, you're not actually private. Surprise, surprise. They store a bunch of stuff in that web cache thing, I think it's called. But yeah, that's something else that came out over this weekend. Which sometimes I doubt the privacy of Chrome privacy incognito mode sometimes.
But
too.
what are you asking for when you're telling it privacy? What is the privacy setting describe that it's doing? What does privacy mean? I mean, is it caching pages? Is that what's bad?
Well, yeah, I think that's the big
So it can
issue.
load them quicker? Is it
Well, it's,
or is it sending personal data to websites and
it's caching pages, I think. So, but still,
but
if
that's
you
what it's
close-
supposed to not do, right?
Yeah, if you close out of that window, it should erase that cache.
and it's not doing that.
Yeah, private mode or incognito mode or whatever mode they want to call it. It's supposed to not track where your history and things like that, and that leaves traces of your history there. So
There's this issue in I believe I can't remember the specifics, but I believe it's AMD or an NVIDIA graphics driver that doesn't clear out the graphics card's memory, and so this person was watching porn, and then they were opening up a game, I think, or something like that on their computer, and it didn't clear out the memory, and it showed that image flashes up before it clears out the memory at the beginning of the game, apparently, or whatever it is that they were running. Yeah, you don't want to, with the expectation of a privacy mode or a, whatever they call it, incognito, in Chrome or whatever. That's explicitly a design to not save that information, and they can't claim it both ways. So this is considered to be a bug by them, correct? Or no? Or have they acknowledged it yet?
I don't know if they've acknowledged it.
Okay.
That I posted.
Yeah, I will. I don't know if you were going to mention this particular story, but I wanted to post a link because I thought it was a little cute. So there was a Griffin Vulture with the GPS tracking units on its leg that the Lebanon security forces took, and They, of course, thought that it was some sort of spying device. But in fact, at least now, it's questionable who to believe in these situations, but Tel Aviv University claims that it's part of their conservationist movement, and it's legitimate. But I just thought it was funny. We're chasing after vultures now. Are they too cheap to get the drones? I mean, honestly, I think a drone these days is cheaper than a vulture to maintain. But maybe
I
I'm
would,
wrong about that.
I would imagine so.
Oh, speaking of drones, an Iranian drone flew over a U.S. carrier a few days ago.
Yeah, I heard
Can't
that.
believe that we didn't shoot it down.
Yeah, it just so happens to be the uh the Harriet Truman.
Yeah.
The USS Harry Truman.
Yeah, my niece is on that.
Um,
Oh,
there was
And
something about
I'm not sure how sophisticated the drone was. I know, I think Iran shot down a Predator not too long ago or something. I wonder if they've used our technology to create their
by the
own.
way, they don't need to shoot down predators anymore. I feel that from what I've heard, they're falling out of the sky because of some design flaw.
they wouldn't let me take a picture of that carrier with my drone. Kind of upset.
Well, apparently they let Iran do it.
it was unarmed. They
There
said
was there was another article, and I'm not sure how recent it was, but it was this past weekend it looks like. But the apparently it came out that the Israeli drone feeds have been hacked by British and American intelligence. So like they've been spying on our allies.
Yeah. So does that mean that they had to somehow get their keys, so to speak? I'm assuming they're using, public key cryptography, right?
Yes, I don't know.
I was just wondering if,
you.
well, what did they do a back door, or did they actually decrypt it? Sometimes the details of that is a little bit fuzzy. Sometimes when you hear these stories, they'll say they got access to the data, but actually through what mechanism did they do that? Makes you wonder sometimes.
That's probably classified.
Yeah,
Yes, and so I should ask Hillary Clinton, right?
Yeah.
That's a
Just
low
read
blow.
her
I'm
email.
sorry.
Well, she'll just lie to you.
Just read her email. There was also something on Lifehacker for simple survival tricks. I posted that link a little bit earlier there. Think you'd probably be interested in that one, maybe. Quick tips.
Probably might be.
And this was one that I was just looking at now, but have y'all ever heard of Airdroid?
No.
You can control your phone with this from your PC.
Oh yeah, I fucking hate that. I'm sorry.
Well, they just added so you can share your clipboard between them now. So
yeah, I just uninstall. I never use it, and I just uninstalled it. There are no useful features whatsoever unless you buy it, and there's a lot of ads and stuff. And I don't know if something about it rubbed me the wrong way. I thought about buying it, and then I just uninstalled it instead. I'm not sure.
how much is the
It seemed like it was really cool though. It had a lot of cool features, but I don't remember what it was. Something upset me about it, and I just uninstalled it.
Let's look more into this. I don't even see a paid version here. Is this the same app? Airdroid file transfer manage.
So what we're getting close to that 1 year expiration on Windows 10 free upgrades, right?
In July.
In July, okay, yeah. Is that gonna what exactly happens at that point? What's the implication to
We have one half of
consequences?
a year for that. Who knows? Nobody knows. Microsoft won't tell anybody, but everyone assumes that you just get to continue using Windows 10 for free.
I mean, they're not gonna do something shitty or something weird like stick a charge on, try to charge people's accounts or something somehow.
I mean, they're not going to do it automatically, but
Well,
I'm
they don't
sure.
have my credit card, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to do that automatically. But I mean, but that asterisk, that fine print thing, they kept that. They still have that, as far as I know. So it's a little bit concerning to everyone out there.
They're not just going to stop it. It's more than
It
likely
is
it's going to
Microsoft.
be, if you want to continue to get updates, you'll have to pay the subscription fee.
Oh, so
That's
they
how they
entice
rank.
everyone to upgrade for free, solely to stick them with a bill and leave them with
They
unsecured
have to
systems.
get revenue out of it somehow. They haven't reached how many devices they want to have on it, and more than likely it's going to be that after that point they're going to come out with a subscription rate, and either features will get disabled or updates will be required to.
Yeah, can I still get the features I was originally promised with Windows 10 in their entirety, or
You'll
do
probably
I?
get what you have right now.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't pay the subscription, you won't get anything else.
Yeah, if Microsoft goes that route, I will never use a Microsoft operating system again.
And they probably do have your credit card number.
The only choice you'll have is Windows 10, so it's not like you have an option of using a different one.
No, I'll use Linux.
No,
React
Microsoft.
OS. React OS.
Microsoft.
Oh, React OS. There we go. There we
Oh,
go.
That's Linux
You
based.
wanna do
You
that?
said you would never use another Microsoft.
No, React OS
React is not Linux
not
based.
Linux based. If they ever get around
That's-
to releasing
that's-
some
that's-
final code, but
Did you not pay attention?
yeah, you talked about this recently. Yeah.
I know you talked about it.
Anyway, it's I
It is not. It
have
is
a hard
not
time believing Microsoft has enough.
Windows replacement. It uses
leverage
it
to make that
recreates
work,
the
but
Windows API
maybe they do.
kernel,
Maybe they do.
everything.
It's an impressive project, by the way, if they can pull
Yeah.
that off to reverse engineer.
Supposedly
those
they got it up
APIs.
in printing now. I was going to download it and try it, but I hadn't. VM or something if you can do that, but I hadn't looked at it yet.
So they have
But I
USB
have-
support.
I've learned
got
a lot about programming the Windows API from their source. Actually,
Yeah, they got
Wow.
preloaded VirtualBox machines even. Here, I'll post
Oh,
a link to their download.
yeah, I've just
Do
looked at
that.
their source actually. To be honest, for a couple of things.
Installation CD, live CD, preloaded on VM virtual machines.
What's
or
the
VirtualBox.
current version number, by the way?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's 0 point something, but
Yeah, it looks like 0.3 maybe.
ooh,
Yeah, 0.3.17.
nice.
They're only based up to XP, it looks like, though, so you don't
Yeah.
get any of your Vista Plus stuff.
Like what? Sucking?
Enhanced security.
Back to the Windows 10 thing.
Yeah.
This howtogeek.com article says that if you get the Windows 10 before the first year, that it's free permanently, and you will be able to continue to get updates to Windows 10.
Thank you, Proctor. That's what I'm expecting. That's the situation that I was hoping for. But I guess we'll. I mean,
I have no problem
that's
though.
how to geek. They're usually reliable, though. On that.
Yeah,
Even if I use React OS and switch to them or whatever, or use some for, I have no problem still even paying for a subscription to Windows 10 as long as it's a reasonable price and it's actually helpful and a value and continues to be relevant. Otherwise, F it.
Yeah, I'm just not happy with something like the rolling release. So, in other words, I'm still, they're still only just getting to the point where control panel can be completely deprecated with settings. But, you know, so
Not
they're,
even close.
well, they're, that's supposed to be the goal, though, right? But I'm saying they're not even,
Who
you know,
knows?
at something like that yet, let alone even, in my opinion, having a complete finalized set of features, and that makes it very different and very difficult, I think, for them to be able to justify a subscription charge. If people could depend
Well,
upon a certain set of features or depend upon something, then yes, but their release schedule doesn't seem to coincide with that anymore. But
so I do want to point out that they aren't getting any like details from Microsoft. This is an interpretation article, and they even say that your PC will get features and updates for the supported lifetime of your device. And Microsoft hasn't actually explained what this phrase means, but it's a bit obvious. It's a bit of an obvious explanation. And like, I mean, they can basically say that the supported lifetime of your device is a year, and then you don't get anything without paying a subscription. They have so many avenues that they could take, and Microsoft hasn't taken a stance.
look, just because somebody can do something or something that we might not agree with doesn't mean that they will. So yeah, Tom is going to tell you, you're right. It's just because how to seems to interpret that doesn't necessarily mean that that's truth. Can we need to address, I think, some of the chatter in the
Mhm.
chat here. Couple of things. Glenn mentioning, yeah, your certificate has expired. There's $300 bill. Yeah, I that's a possibility. Let's hope not, though. And I
Oh,
was
what?
more referring to James,
Oh,
though. James had some
oh, yeah.
nice things to say about the help we gave him.
Well, he's also confused by it. Datagraph didn't get the. He's saying it didn't get the registry for Outlook. Is that just on two computers, but it did on others, James? Is there a difference in the version of Outlook or the? And I can say that the more that the newer versions of Outlook, I mean, they keep storing more and more stuff in the PST and other files. It's than they used to. I haven't kept up with the latest version so much, but um, what they're doing. But I know that uh, it's depending on how that domain was set up. I mean, where those files were, it might not have. It boils down to the version. Was the version different?
And if it was like one of those OST things instead,
Yeah.
where it like caches everything on the Exchange server side.
Mhm. I would have to, I really have to sink into the data grab code probably to go beyond version.
Oh, okay, John. So he clarified. James says
Oh,
6 computers did not and 2 did work.
interesting.
All
Yeah,
the same. All PSTs.
I mean, yeah,
interesting.
Outlook 2010, same version.
Hmm.
That's not even a new version.
Well, I would have to dive into the code for that, James, to figure that one out. But 32-bit, all with those two, maybe 64-bit, 32-bit. I don't know. There's some difference there, but there could be so many things. Probably it's not really worth answering the question until I get to that part, just to recode it anyway. And also the OS as well. I was talking about Michael, but
Okay, James says all 64, but um,
well, I just need a coffee refill. Silent.
so I was reading some additional reports by people or by
Dun, dun, dun.
but basically saying that regular Amazon deliveries are
I think there were reports by robots.
yeah,
Those are
it's yeah, robots.
better.
robots
They're
yeah.
so much more concise.
Yeah. So,
Clear.
but what was I gonna say? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, the Amazon deliveries, the non-Prime deliveries suffer. So there's an uptick in Prime deliveries, but apparently for them to be able to do Prime deliveries, all the other deliveries are suffering. Or I think that was the implication of what I was reading. But obviously you can look at that a couple different ways. With people that I've talked to, anybody know any evidence? Anybody have any evidence to speak to on that? Just to be consistent.
No, usually my non-Prime, like there's stuff I order that's not on Prime, and
Yeah.
it comes
That's
just
true. Yeah,
It comes just fine because
I've ordered a few things that have been on non-Prime, and it's strange because I'll get I can recall the last 2 items that I've done this. Both items came like a month before they said they were gonna, but they said they were gonna come way the hell later than I thought they should have been. So
well,
and
Brentley had mentioned it about his.
And on
his
each of them, like I got on one of them, I kept getting, your scheduled date has been rechanged and all this other mess, and it still came way before it ever said. And then on the other one, Amazon thinks I still haven't got it, and it's something I ordered in like November, but I've had it the whole time. It was pretty quick. Anyway, either case, they were both pretty quick to get here. I don't think it matters. Every once in a while, I'll have something that I order that's not on Prime with something that I order that's on Prime, and they arrive in the same box. So
the ones that I had the only time I've ever had an issue with getting something from Amazon was the NanoKey Neos, and that was because I think the YubiKey had an issue with their inventory and keeping up and getting it out to people. So it wasn't it's like nobody online had the ability to get them, and it was around Christmas time, and I'm pretty sure what happened was exactly what I thought, where companies decided they needed to spend money before the end of the year and just bought up a whole bunch of YubiKeys. And Amazon obviously fulfilled orders that are for 1,200 units before they fulfilled mine for 4 units.
Okay.
no doubt. And thanks again, by the way.
Why have you not gotten your controller yet still?
No, I have not gotten that. They rescheduled it to the 3rd.
Oh, you're
Hey,
probably
Brentley, thank you for the YubiKey.
Yeah.
No problem. Are y'all using them yet?
I haven't got it set up. I'm gonna have to go back and watch your video.
I set mine up as far as like getting it not setting it up with anything, and then it disappeared along with the digital certificate.
Is the digital certificate still lost?
Yeah, both items are lost, and I'm starting to suspect I put them somewhere safe when I went on to High Point the other week.
And you don't remember where that is. Yeah, let me.
The YubiKey goes really nice on your keychain.
Yeah,
Is it pretty durable?
Yeah, it's supposed to be extremely durable. So.
Yeah,
I put my keys through hell.
Yeah, no, they're supposed to last up to that. So.
Yeah.
Try it out. See if you can break it.
I don't think that's what you want to do. The minute you get your key, you can just take a big sledgehammer to it. But I think might be important for the site or the software. So let's see what we can do to find that. Not the YubiKey so much, but
the U2F stuff is really easy
to
set
talking
up.
about.
Like with Google, to set it up for each of your accounts, you just go to your account and sign in 2-factor, and you can add a key.
Yeah, it's very straightforward.
Just tapping the button and you're ready.
I thought you had to reset up 2-factor again. Like all
that's
over.
that's only if you're going to do the Google Authenticator like replacement part. Which that's what I did, and that actually saved me because I rooted my phone and ended up flashing it without thinking about the Google Authenticator stuff.
Yikes.
But I actually had it all set up on this along with the Google Authenticator. So now I have it just on this, which this works extremely well for the two-factor auth stuff. I'm just kind of upset because now they have the Google Authenticator on my watch, so I could just have swiped to the numbers and done it that way. But the YubiKey one is much more secure, so I like it.
Well, I tried to set mine up, and I had some questions about slot A and slot B, and
Well, for
back
like
when you had yours set up, so I just wanted to go back and watch the video. And
yeah, that way is a nice way to do it. For the U2F stuff though, like just to set up the authentication with Google accounts or Dropbox or GitHub, it's super easy. Like you don't have to worry about any of the slot stuff. The slot stuff's actually like extra added feature.
oh, okay.
So
Yeah, you'll actually. It was a lot more straightforward to set up than I thought. It was literally fewer steps than I imagined. So that's always a plus.
for the U2F stuff, that's super easy. For the other stuff, it is a little bit more complicated. Especially like making sure you back up stuff so you can recreate it if you need to. Which, if you are going to use that other stuff, it is recommended that you have a second
Key.
so that you have that stuff backed up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Michael, we see your desktop.
No, do you?
We did for a moment. You need to quit doing computer stuff while you're broadcasting.
What?
You can actually see your taskbar right now. You have sticky notes open.
Oh yeah, you can't.
The only technician I know that uses freaking sticky notes. You have Chrome open, you have HexChat open, you have XSplit, you have Ring Central.
Yeah, I seem to have.
And Hangouts.
And there you go. Now you don't see it. I fixed it.
So, did we notice that James said it had something to do with the environment, which is very tricky always.
I did. Yeah, just James, if you can mention that to us, I don't know if you have any more details about that, the specifics of that environment that might have caused that, or get to the bottom of that. Let us know, of course.
Well, it sounds like Nick might be going and updating that one at some point.
The code, yeah.
I'm sure many will appreciate that.
Yeah, but if he can't get to the bottom of it immediately by looking at the code, then more info is always welcome. Oh.
Michael, I can't look at the code immediately. That's the problem.
Oh.
I've got other things that are going on right now.
Well, whatever. That's fine. Oh, I have those dynamic coupons.
James, just more on the data grab thing. I'm not going to look. It's not worth looking at because the data grab code is written on a very old code base. And if you're using that by itself or that in D7, if you're using that in D7 too, it's still on that. There's a lot of reasons it can fail just based on any number of things that have already been fixed and already been replaced in the code base now. So even once I transfer the actual data grab, the code that just says get this file, get this registry entry, those things where they may have failed in the past will already succeed now, even if transferred as is, without even looking at it, because the functions that get are different. Better. Yeah. But I mean, obviously, I'm going to check into all of that as I'm transferring that code, but rewriting.
All right. Are you going to get back into using it, Glenn?
You will once I touch it again. What's your problem, Glenn?
No, he was just saying he hasn't used it.
Well, I know. I'm saying what I mean. Yeah, I'm just saying why, because like I mean, obviously it's not doing something, so you know, put it on the list. You know, I mean that's what I want. I want it to be the thing you use. So once it has everything on the list.
Because he's been using Fabs for ages.
And nothing wrong with that. They've been Fabrice. Fabrice has been. That's all he does. So he's been working at it, or at least that's all he codes. I guess he still has a day job, but I'm not sure anymore. I've sent him a lot of business though in referrals and affiliate shit. And I've done so because I know I don't have the time to put into data grab. Still, continually, I get all this stuff like that article I posted the other day, and we ragged on Michael about trying to sell the guy on D7.2 when the guy starts off his comment saying, I don't buy software and I can't afford software. And so we were picking on him, but that was over a comment on data grab that was the free version someone was using from a billion years ago. And provided the sun and the stars and the moon are in alignment, it's going to work in 90 to 95% of the cases that people need it, I guess, for. And so people still love it and use it. So there's no reason not to improve it. It's just a matter of time.
Did you see Michael's update on that?
No, I've been meaning to check it.
He goes back and he said he went back and was like, I apologize. It was my intention to sell to you. I merely wanted to discuss more with you about this.
For no other reason than
I don't want you to buy anything from us, actually. I completely renege on my mistake. Nice. Glenn's been using all of the D7 functions instead of AIO for his repair tool stuff.
Well, you can use that too. It's all the same. I mean, you can use that in part of D7 stuff. It's in there. It's automated. Estimate.
Yeah, I would do both.
I wouldn't actually though, because I would be afraid to. Well, and that's just me because I'm the one that coded my stuff, and I would be afraid of using someone else's stuff until my stuff didn't work, and it was a last effort. So.
I always go under the impression that you can't fix Windows enough. Like you've always said with your repair stuff, if it's not broken, it's not gonna break it. It's just.
Well, that's not true. There's one thing that will.
Yeah, you don't do the permission.
Improperly registering DLLs will
Yeah.
break functionality if certain DLLs are supposed to be registered in a certain way, not just register of 32. Some of them use certain parameters, and like the Internet Explorer DLLs, I know of. There's a couple of them, but I don't know all of them. So it's dangerous when you just go through and blanket fix stuff. Sometimes in some ways, the regserv32, every DLL in the system32 or syswile64 directory will most definitely do that, which is why I encourage that after you do that repair, then you perform other repairs after that, even if you've already done them, because that can mess some stuff up, especially the IE related repairs. But that's my point. I mean, you're right, Brantley. If most of the time what I used to say is correct, but there are those cases where it's not, and that's what makes me afraid of just running a blanket automation of a third-party tool that may or may not do something like that unaware.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I've tried everything else.
He says it fixes foobarred machines. That's what it's there for.
No, he says fixes have foobarred machines.
Oh.
Some other there are issues running the all-in-one on some tasks. D7 tools. What needs to be fixed? It's from my second last. Oh gosh, we're all confused now, Glenn, please. We don't know what you're saying now.
My brain just did a memory dump.
Unhandled exception.
Yeah.
Who's even talking? I like to picture people in chat like talking, saying the words out loud as they speak. I think that's just because I've had to listen to Michael so much. If y'all didn't know, if Michael is ever typing something, he is always speaking it out loud. So if Michael almost any time types you something, you can just imagine him saying it out loud while he's typing it.
Yeah. In fact, sometimes I'll even actually record that and attach that as a wave file and stuff. To the email. No.
Okay, so Glenn says he uses D7 to target specific issues, not the all-in-one, and I guess. Yeah.
So my mom had a birthday yesterday. Yeah. And we did a surprise for her. But the way my dad did it was a little bit, I don't know. I want to get your guys' feedback on whether or not you think this was over the top or too much. So what happened was that we didn't tell it was just basically my mom just thought that it was me and my dad and her, that we were going to maybe have dinner tonight or that night, and I got her a card and I got her flowers and my dad got her a gift, but she wasn't hearing from the rest of the family. My brother lives behind us, and his and my mother's grandchildren and all, and my mom has friends as well, and she didn't hear from any of them. So what we did at what my dad did at 5 o'clock was he said that, I was thinking maybe we should just get some Chinese, and I'll go get it. So my dad gives her, my dad tells her that, and then she proceeds to tell my dad what she wants, and my dad's forgetful and he's going senile, so she forces him to write down everything that she wants from the Chinese place. Well, so then my dad parks the car behind my house so that she can't see it, and then me and him walk over to my brother's house behind us on the other side of the hedges so they can't see us, and we get there, and then a few minutes goes by, the food arrives that we had ordered from a
Yes,
place,
his whole
not
family
Chinese.
has houses next to each other.
Not Chinese, and
Not
and
Chinese houses?
it was crap. No, it was Cracker Barrel food. But anyway. So then my niece calls her up and says, "Oh God, something's wrong. Come quick!" and hangs up the phone. And so she madly starts running across the yard to the house, like doesn't doesn't even have shoes on or whatever. And she runs over thinking that something's horribly wrong with one of her grandchildren or maybe my brother or
That's
something.
terrible.
Yeah,
That was
and
pretty bad,
Given the
actually.
recent
Especially your
events.
mom's older.
yeah, I didn't. I suggested that this might be a little bit over the too much to them, and I didn't participate in that actual part of it, but
Wee wee.
they did, and
But you're laughing telling us the story.
I'm not laughing. I'm just I want your feedback. I thought it was over the top too. So you agree with that, Johnny?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think and it only went over the top, I think, when they said that or implied that something might be wrong with somebody's health, you know. Um,
Okay, so continue.
oh well, anyway,
She come running across the yard with no shoes.
she comes running across the yard with no shoes. She busts in the door. She goes, "What's going on?" And then they all jump surprise. And then she goes, "Oh my," and then she's just like, "Oh God," poor woman. And it was okay though. She enjoyed the food. She enjoyed the cake and all, and it was a good little get together. So that was all success. But I just think it could have been accomplished maybe without the stress of that. Yeah, it wouldn't have been funny if she fell, RTM tech, a lot of things. And what if she had a heart attack? I mean, what if it just was that
With
point,
the health issues in your family already, a surprise party would not have been at the top of my list for the parents.
Yeah, well, this is my dad who had all the recent heart attacks, so my mom's been pretty good in that regard. But yeah, you don't want to push it at their age, I don't think. I'm gonna suggest that my dad not do anything like that again.
Like maybe have like a
Oh,
fake surprise party.
and my niece is like, she's all freaking out too because she doesn't like lying. God bless her. She's one of the few children in the world that actually believe in honesty. Um, but she had an internal issue with doing this, and her dad and her mom were like, "Oh, lie to your grandmother! Ah, lie to your grandmother! Don't give it away! Don't give it away!" I'm like, don't teach your daughter to lie and then yell at her when she doesn't. I mean, isn't that like undoing good parenting? Anyway, just wish even I don't know. This even birthdays are complicated with my family.
Sounds it.
Well, we surprised my mom for her birthday too this year, but we didn't give her a heart attack. We just took her to a restaurant where she was expecting just to eat dinner with us.
Yeah, there's
And the family and friends were already there,
there's
Talk
always
about a
that.
surprise present, a heart attack. Oh, thank you, Mom. Thanks, boy.
Well,
Love you,
Proctor,
Mom.
I'm gonna think about that for next year. Maybe something a little bit more straightforward. But then there's the whole thing. The whole day, my mom's thinking that everybody, a large portion of the people that she loves and considers her close family, ignored her on her birthday, at least up till 5 p.m. And I think that was a little depressing too for her. I'm okay with surprises, but
so were people like purposefully not contacting her on her birthday?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of sucks because then like the whole day she's thinking, everybody forgot my birthday.
Exactly.
And so she,
I feel so bad now. I feel like we just caused stress and didn't really give her that great of a party.
Well, did she have a good time at the party?
I think so, but my mom's one of those people there. She'll go to the bathroom and cry every time. We're not looking. I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case. Yeah, RTM tech, a little planning goes a long way, but I think this less planning in this case. I think it's just been happy birthday. Guess what? We're all taking you out to dinner tonight, or we're having dinner brought over. Or, Okay. Johnny, how's your family doing?
Um, Pretty good. They're gonna buy a house in Georgia pretty soon.
That's right, and retire
My
down
dad's
there.
gonna retire.
Mm-hmm.
It's about time. He's only been driving truck my whole life. He's 70 now, and he should
Oh,
probably retire.
that's
Hmm.
early. My mom says she'll work till.
Well, his dad died in the truck, so
Oh, that's no.
we all swore that's what was gonna happen to my dad. But
Oh no. Get him out of that truck. Yeah, have him retire right now.
yeah, he can't retire right now, but he's getting close. He's had it.
Can't type for quids tonight. Quids. Oh, that's what you call your money, quid, right? Glenn?
Um,
Or
no one's
no,
gonna be talking next time I go down there.
um,
Seems like. But everybody else is doing good. Thanks for asking.
oh, you're
Let
welcome.
them know you asked about them.
Yeah, and is your sister's kid still growing?
I just said, seems like Noah's gonna be talking next time I go down there.
Oh, I thought you said no one's talking when you go down there next summer. I didn't know what you. Okay, so that's Noah. Noah, that's right.
Yeah.
My nephew's name is Noah as well. I keep forgetting that. Okay.
He's. I tell her in his pictures he's starting to look like a little person instead of a baby. Like he
Hmm,
knows what's going on around him now.
that's good.
Is its face any better?
There's nothing wrong with his face. His
Maybe,
face is
James. Yeah, if you're hitting it way too frequently, yeah, you might need to up the nicotine. But don't. It's easy to go overboard with the nicotine too, so please go in
Are you
small
vaping at
increments.
work, James?
And the alternative is just get a bag of ethanol and nicotine and let it drip into you over the course of a day.
I'm just now reading this, and apparently there's new piercings that could cure migraines and anxiety.
Piercing. Why does a lot of cures involve making big holes in people?
Uh, RTM Tech asked if there's a good place to purchase from for the Raspberry Pi, board case, SD card, etc. And
Yeah, they have starter kits. Starter.
yeah, Amazon is your best place we've found. I'll
It's
throw a
it,
link to the starter kits I've gotten.
the ones that I've gotten have come from what is it called? Element 14 or something?
James, don't worry, I'm not telling
Is it Element
anybody.
14 or Element 4? I can't remember. Element 14. Yeah, it is Element 14. I'll get a link to that. Okay, so James is at 6 milligram. Yeah, I'm at 6 too.
Yeah, 6 milligram is really low. Like I can barely do that, and I've been vaping for a year. I usually stick around 12, and I started off at 36 and went down to 24. So
I started off at 36 and went down to 6.
I
And I
tried
went
going
to
down that low. It's just I was going through it like it was nothing.
Well,
yeah,
I do go through it a little bit more, but honestly, I don't vape as much as you guys do at all, and I've really reduced my nicotine and have done it that way for so long now. I'm kind of happy with it. Anything more, like 12? I can't do
12 or 18 is my comfort zone.
Well, then I guess I'll tell James 12 sounds good. But if there's
If I go any lower than 12, I'm just constantly vaping. I can't put it down, and it just gets ridiculous.
So RTM Tech, I posted 3 links there. The first one is a kind of all-in-one kit. It comes with everything you need to get started. The other 2 is a little bit different kit. It doesn't come with everything you need. The kit comes with everything you need, plus it has like a fan, and I really like that case a lot actually. And then you have to buy the board separately, so that's why I posted that second link there. Both of those are what I've been running, and they've been working perfect and great. And both of them have everything you need to get started. The second one, it's a little bit nicer because you get the fan on the case, you get a Bluetooth dongle with it. I think that wireless one that they give you is actually able to go into monitor mode and all that stuff, so that's kind of nice too. They give you a nice little bag. I actually haven't bagged for anything yet, so. But both of them come with the power cords, micro SD chip. The second one does have a little bit nicer micro SD chip.
I'd listen to Brantley on that. The Element 14, they have a store and stuff, and you can link to it. But honestly, just sometimes finding those kits like Brantley posted there are a little bit, I think, a better option.
Yeah, the Raspberry Pi 2 Model B only comes in quad core, so you wouldn't want anything lower than that.
Now, so Brantley, I have, I don't have a heatsink on mine, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't noticed any issues. Is there?
I mean, it definitely does get hot. They do make heat sinks for them, so that first kit I posted has heat sinks.
Yeah, I saw that.
And if you're doing a lot with it, like processing and power and stuff like that, it's definitely worth having a heat sink or a fan on it. Proctor, you got the active cooling one too, didn't you? The one with the fan.
Yeah, I did. Like you got.
Yeah. Do you like that one?
Yeah.
I like being completely quiet.
So Proctor got that second set, and again, remember with that one, you do have to get the kit and the board separately. The first kit has everything you need, plus it gives you a little documentation that's kind of interesting. So, but that first kit, the SD card is really crappy in there, so I would actually recommend getting a different SD card. And
I'm a big fan of the Samsung Evo Plus SD cards, so they perform very well, very compatible.
I like the SanDisk ones myself. I'll post a link to those SanDisk.
I'll see if I can find the Samsung ones.
Those are fairly good cards, and that's what I use in all of mine. I have a 16 gig in one and a 32 in the other. The 32 I have in the one I put Kali in. You definitely do want a class 10 card. It is a huge difference. Huge difference. I actually had a crappier card in when I put Kali Linux on one of these, and it was just taking forever to install like apt-get updates and stuff.
By the way,
the class 10, and it like went like a snap.